Guys, what is going on? Welcome to my live review for last night's Royal Rumble pay-per-view extravaganza. It was a long night to say the least. It was a if you want to count the pre-show, 5 hours of the main show, 2 hours of the pre-show. We certainly have a lot to talk about. My overall thoughts coming out of the Royal Rumble, I felt there was a lot to like coming out of this event. You know, we had our Royal Rumble match winners of Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins punching their respective tickets to the grand stage of WrestleMania 35 in just 69 days, a show that I will be in attendance at. Cannot wait. It should be an incredible night there at MetLife Stadium. So the Royal Rumble, like I said last night, but overall was a strong show, despite being probably an hour too long. Like I said, I only caught the pre-show around 6:30, so I'm not really going to talk too much about that, except for my thoughts on the Cruiserweight match, which I thought was pretty good. But if you're watching live, please be sure to participate in the live chat. Like I said, it's great to be back up here. It's usually tough going live after these pay-per-views because they're just so damn exhausting. But you guys have spoken. Real quick here, I want to talk about the Twitter poll before we dive into these results. 39 votes, so thank you everybody for participating here at Daniel Gaza 412. Be sure to follow my Twitter. 64% thumbs up, 36% thumbs down. So an overall positive results for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Like I said, we are officially now on the road to WrestleMania 35, and I cannot wait for that show. Should be a good one. So let's waste no further time, and let's dive right into these results. Briefly, I'll talk about Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus Razor and Scott Dawson. Apparently, Akam is injured, dealing with an injury of some kind, so the tag team divisions continue to get weaker and weaker and weaker. A solution that I would have for this is you have one set of male tag team champions, the men's, the guys, and you have your women's tag team titles, and they're traveling champions that could, appear on both shows. You don't need two sets of men's tag team titles. I just feel the divisions aren't strong enough anyways. I feel if you open it up to both shows, that would certainly help with that lack of depth. In particular, the Raw side of things, but also on the SmackDown side of things. I mean, you get a lot of these repetitive tag team matches. So here, was this a title match? Apparently it was. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable won after they hit their finisher on Dawson for the win. United States Championship match, Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So apparently the way this match went down is Nakamura and Lana were arguing after Lana tried to get the ref's attention after Nakamura exposed the turnbuckle pad. Rusev accidentally knocks Lana off the apron. Nakamura hits the Kinshasa onto Rusev's head for the win, and Nakamura gets the 3 count. So really surprised here to see Nakamura pick up the United States Championship after having a really underwhelming reign with it. What didn't, I don't know, there wasn't really much to say about Nakamura's reign. We'll see how he does with his next reign as United States champion. But tell me, guys, how was the match between Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura in the live chat and in the comment section? Like I said, I wasn't watching the show at this time. Still did not get a chance to tune into the Rumble until the Cruiserweight match, which I can't wait to talk about here next because I thought this was some good stuff right here. Fatal 4-way for the Cruiserweight Championship. Props to the guys of 205 Live for going out there and killing it on the pre-show. We had Buddy Murphy defending his belt against Kalisto, Hideo Itami, and Akira Tozawa. Thought all 4 men went out there and, they hit their spots. They got their moves in, whether it was, Tozawa diving through the ropes and speared Kalisto off Murphy's shoulders. That was a really nice spot. Kalisto, he had some botches here and there, but there was the one spot where Kalisto Rana DDT'd Buddy Murphy as he was getting back in the ring, and it looked like he almost spiked him on his head. Luckily, it seems like Buddy Murphy's okay, but that was kind of a scary spot there. So we're getting towards the end of the match here. Hideo Itami is able to break up the pinfall. Kalisto lands the Selena Del Sol on Itami, who kicks out. Nice near fall there. And Buddy Murphy hits Murphy's Law on Itami for the win. So, as I predicted here, Buddy Murphy retains his Cruiserweight Championship in what was, I would say, was probably the best match on the pre-show. Now let's dive right into the main card here. SmackDown Women's Championship match. Asuka versus Becky Lynch. These two told a great story in this ring. Hard-hitting, physical match. Loved the near falls and the counters, and the counters out of the disarmer into the Asuka lock, and putting those moves in different positions that we quite haven't seen yet, such as I believe it was also Asuka. Thought she looked like a beast in this match. Just want to mention that it's great to see Asuka as the SmackDown Women's Champion being booked in a dominant fashion once again after going through a couple months of really mediocrity. Let's say there's no way around it. I mean, she lost twice to Carmella, and then she kind of floundered around doing her stuff with Naomi. But I like the way they built Asuka back up, as a champion, heading out of TLC, moving into the Royal Rumble. And I had a feeling that Asuka was going to get the win here. The question was, how was she going to get the win here? And she locked Becky Lynch in to the Asuka lock, and she turned it into a modified version of the cattle mutilation. And they had Becky Lynch tap out there. I'm just curious. I'm going to pose this, guys, to you in the comment section, because I was listening to Busted Open Radio, which, if you haven't done, with Bully Ray and I believe Dave LaGreca. I want to say, I hope I got the names right. But Bully Ray was on there, and he mentioned, and this ties in with Becky winning the Rumble and everything. Becky tapped out. Would you have done that? Would you have rather have seen maybe Becky pass out instead? Because she clearly, clear as day, she tapped out. And it's a questionable decision. Like I said, I really enjoyed the match. But what do you guys think about that finish? Hearing them talk about it and kind of debate around different scenarios, what you could do in this situation. I think Becky passing out would have been the better way to go. But finish aside, I still thought both women went out there and they told a great story. Becky's resilience, Asuka's, determination and dominance to be the top woman on SmackDown as SmackDown Women's Champion. And I love this match. Wasn't my match of the night. It's got to be up there. If not match of the night, probably my second favorite match of the night. So great stuff here between Becky and Asuka. Now, a match here that I really didn't have much expectations going into, I actually have to say it was a solid tag team match. I'm talking about The Bar versus Shane McMahon and The Miz. Despite Shane's terrible punches, and they are really, really bad, I thought him and The Miz did a pretty decent job here in this tag team match. And, Shane, of course, setting up for that elbow drop. They teased it multiple times. And Cesaro, Shane, towards the end of the match, tried to set up Sheamus for the Van Terminator. Cesaro is able to break that up, and Shane is able to land an elbow that sent Cesaro into the corner. Shane attempts to dive, but Cesaro catches him in midair and puts him in the swing. So that was a really nice counter there by Cesaro. Shane's able to lock in the triangle. Miz breaks that up. And then there's a double team white noise by The Bar. Shane kicks out. Miz hits the skull-crushing finale, and Shane goes up and hits the shooting star press. And to the surprise of no one, as this furthers the storyline between Shane and The Miz, they're now co-besties, and they are also SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So I think we all know where this is headed. Of course, heading to WrestleMania with Shane and The Miz. Not sure I really want to see that match. But, yeah, Shane and The Miz. And as you said, Shane McMahon. Yeah, it was pretty amazing seeing him do that shooting star press. Shane, I believe, is 48 years old, if I'm not mistaken. He's a tough SOB. 49, excuse me. He just turned 49, right? We had his birthday on the 15th. But, yeah, I enjoyed this match much more than I thought I would. A match that I had high expectations for going in, and a match that I really enjoyed. Talking about the Raw Women's Championship match. Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks. I love the selling of Ronda in this match and just the look of intensity and the pain. And Ronda has picked this up, so well. It's incredible. She's only been doing this for 9 months. I thought her and Sasha, once again, the women went out there, told a great story in the ring. And I love the fact that to the outside, Sasha Banks was able to lock in the bank statement and made Ronda Rousey tap out. But of course, it doesn't count when you're on the outside. So, but I like that tease there. And they get back in the ring. Banks drops a knee onto Ronda's arm. She's trying to set up for that bank statement again. Ronda's trying to go for another Piper's Pit attempt, but Sasha reverses into the bank statement, and she uses her armband at times to choke out Rousey and almost gets disqualified. Banks drags Ronda back into the ring after Ronda gets to the ropes. Banks is able to turn and lock in a Fujiwara armbar. Ronda is able to get to her feet, hit the gut-wrench powerbomb on Sasha Banks, and hits Piper's Pit for the win. After the match, show of respect between Ronda, Sasha. They shake hands, and Sasha walks up the ramp, kind of teases. She has this look on her face. You think maybe she's going to turn on Ronda, but she doesn't. But I like the way that there was that subtle tease of what is Sasha Banks going to do here in this situation. So to me, this Royal Rumble was great for the sheer fact of I thought the women shined so much on this show. I thought it was, their night. I think they outclassed the guys in this instance. And we'll talk about the, speaking of the Royal Rumble match itself, which is up next. So yeah, I really thought this was the women's, it was their night, and they continue to be one of, if not, dare I say it, the best part of WWE going forward into 2019. And let's segue right into here. We had the second annual 30 women Royal Rumble match. Entrant number 1, Lacey Evans here, making her in-ring debut here on the main roster. Entrant number 2 was Natalya. Entrant number 3 was the beautiful Mandy Rose. Liv Morgan was entrant number 4, who was eliminated by Natalya. We then have Mickie James at number 5. Ember Moon, number 6. And we go Billie Kay, number 7, who does not enter the Royal Rumble initially. She's waiting for her partner, Peyton Royce, to get there. Entrant number 8, one of my favorites, Nikki Cross, crazy, psychotic. I just love this woman, how invested she is in her character and goes all out to just, get us invested in her. We believe she's crazy. We believe she's a lunatic. Why? Because she acts like it. And I wish more wrestlers were like Nikki Cross when it comes to getting us invested into their personas. Entrant 9, Peyton Royce here. Entrant 10, Tamina. And who eliminated Mickie James, throws her out. Entrant number 11, Xia Li. And we have Sarah Logan at number 12. Moon had a nice spot here where she falls off the apron but keeps her feet hooked to the bottom rope. So she was kept from being eliminated. That is Ember Moon. The Iconics eliminated Nikki Cross. We had Charlotte Flair coming to the ring at lucky number 18. Lacey Evans eliminated both Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Charlotte Flair hits a big boot on Xia Li in the face, sending her over the top rope. Entrant number 14, one of my favorites in NXT, the Pirate Princess, Kairi Sane. Charlotte eliminates Tamina. Sarah Logan eliminated by Kairi Sane. And then Maria Kanellis. And the stuff they did with her and Alicia Fox, to me, was just dumb, stupid with the hat. I'm just like, what the hell is this crap? And on Busted Open, they pointed out that Charlotte wasn't in the ring. She wasn't even looking at any of this stuff. To me, this stuff was just like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this stupid stuff with the hat? So I found that interesting that Charlotte had her back turned to this while all this was going on. Just an interesting point of note to make there. So we had Naomi at number 16. She, of course, eliminates Mandy Rose, continuing their feud. And Naomi, Rose pulls Naomi off the apron, but Naomi puts her feet on the barricade. She climbs across the barricade, jumps to the ring steps, only have Mandy Rose eliminate Naomi. So that continues their feud there. Charlotte Flair eliminates Lacey Evans. Up next, Candice LeRae at number 17, Mrs. Johnny Gargano. Alicia Fox, number 18. They do the dumb hat stuff. I could care less. Entrant number 19, Casey Cantazero. Apparently from American Ninja Warrior. Not too familiar with her, but she had her showing here in the Royal Rumble. Zelina Vega, number 20. She hid under the ring. And, of course, who was under the ring but none other than the little bastard himself, Hornswoggle. So we had a cameo appearance from Hornswoggle. Entrant 21, Ruby Riott. The Riott Squad hit the ring. They pull Charlotte from under. They begin to all hell breaks loose. They pull Candice LeRae out of the ring. She eats a powerbomb. Alicia Fox and Candice LeRae were both eliminated. Number 22 entrant, Dana Brooke, who was able to eliminate... Well, Ruby Riott sends Kairi Sane out of the ring, and Sane hits the floor, and she is eliminated. Entrant number 23, Io Shirai, who I thought had a nice showing here in the Royal Rumble. Entrant number 24, Rhea Ripley. Man, this girl has presence. She has the size. She has the look. I see big things in the future for Rhea Ripley. I just loved her presence in this Royal Rumble match, I have to say here. And she press slams Cantazero out of the ring. Entrant number 25, Sonya Deville. Rhea Ripley drop kicks Dana Brooke off the apron. Brooke's eliminated. Of course, we have the stuff I mentioned earlier with Hornswoggle. Vega runs in the ring. She's tossed out by Rhea Ripley. So like I said, Rhea Ripley, one of the shining women here in the Royal Rumble match. Entrant number 26, Alexa Bliss. Bliss is able to eliminate Sonya Deville. Bayley at entrant number 27. And she was able to eliminate both Ruby Riott and Rhea Ripley. Lana, who was injured earlier in the night in the Rusev-Shinsuke Nakamura match, tries to make her way down to the ring. She's limping. She can't make it, so she's off to the side. Nia Jax comes down to the ring. Entrant number 29. She eliminates Io Shirai. She also eliminates Natalya. Carmella, entrant number 30. Gets in the ring there, and we then have the Becky Lynch spot. We all had a feeling. We all knew somehow, some way, Becky Lynch was going to find a way to get in this Royal Rumble match. Now, what do you guys think? How did you feel about the way that this was handled? Of Becky Lynch coming out and taking Lana's spot, and the way this was all set up and done, and having Finlay be the one that's saying, okay, go ahead. Like, to me, that was kind of a nitpick here. Minor nitpick. Why Finlay, of all people? Like, what power, what control, what authority does he have for Becky Lynch to enter the Women's Rumble match? And wouldn't it make more sense for somebody like a Shane McMahon to come down to the ring? Be like, you know, okay, clearly, Lana, you can't compete, Becky. You know, if you want it, you got it, you're good to go. But to me, to have Finlay, I think that was kind of off-putting to some casual fans. You got to assume, like, us hardcores, we know who Finlay is. But to have him be the one to approve Becky into the match left me scratch my head a little bit there. Be that as it may, Becky gets in there. Carmella is eliminated by Charlotte. And Bayley is eliminated by Nia Jax. And finally, Nia Jax eliminated by both Charlotte and Becky. And as it should have, it came down to Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair renewing their rivalry. Becky's injured leg. Charlotte is able to, or should I say Nia Jax runs over Becky Lynch, who's on the outside. And Lynch hits her knee on the barricade. And for a brief second, she sold the wrong leg. She switched it up, but that was just a minor thing I noticed there. A little nitpick. But Charlotte works over the leg of Becky. And she suplexes her. And she attempts to charge in. Gets sent back to the ring apron. Charlotte does. Becky Lynch clotheslines Flair off the ring apron. And Charlotte Flair is eliminated. And your winner of the second Women's Royal Rumble match is the man, Becky Lynch. Now, there are two scenarios here. I know everybody wants to see Becky versus Ronda, and I really do. But listening to This Morning Busted Open, fully right flow to the scenario, would it make more sense in storyline for Becky to want Asuka, to rematch Asuka? Because Asuka tapped her out. Right now, wouldn't the issue be more pertaining to see Becky versus Asuka again? Due to the fact of Asuka being the one that tapped Becky out. I know Ronda and Becky have been going back and forth on social media, and I know a lot of people want to see that match, but as of right now, we'll see what happens on Raw tonight and SmackDown tomorrow. I think we'll know more when it comes to that, but logically, in kayfabe, in storyline-wise, do you guys think that would make more sense? Like I said, I still want to see Becky versus Ronda, but how do you get there? That will be the question to see. And who will Becky pick? She can pick Ronda. She could also pick Asuka. Because you can't forget about Asuka in this equation. She is the women's champ after all. Thought she had an incredible showing with Becky last night. Be interesting to see how all the pieces fall into place. And will Charlotte have a gripe? Over the fact of, well, Becky, you took Lana's spot anyway, so technically you weren't even supposed to be in this match. And maybe that'll somehow play into the storyline. So it'll be interesting to see where all the chips fall. Like I said, really looking forward to seeing what SmackDown and Raw have in store as we are less than, 10 weeks away from WrestleMania 35. So business is picking up there. Speaking of not picking up, let's talk about the WWE Championship match, which obviously suffered from match placement here. I was tired by this point. I mean, after the Women's Royal Rumble match, I kind of looked at my friend Matt. I'm just like, man, is this thing over yet? I mean, we've been sitting here for almost 3 hours at that point, and we still had 2 more championship matches and a Men's Royal Rumble match to go. So it was a long, exhausting night, to say the least. I thought Bryan and Styles, they had a good match, but the crowd was just so spent, so exhausted. That is the risk you run when you have these marathon shows. And that's why I said to my friend Mike, shout out to the Club of the Man 1993, when we go to WrestleMania, I don't want to get to that building any earlier than 6:30 because I know we're going to get 5 hours for Mania. We got 5 hours last night, which is too much for the Royal Rumble. It should only be 4 hours or less. Just my opinion. But, and this is the reason why. The card structure, you burn the crowd out, and by the time they got here, they were spent. They did pick back up later on for the rest of the show, but so I thought Styles and Bryan had a good match, which was suffered by a dead crowd. And the interesting storyline here is the fact that Eric Rowan made his appearance. Apparently aligns with Daniel Bryan and gets in the ring. He chokeslams Daniel Bryan, and Bryan is able to hit the 3 count with the assist from Eric Rowan. So still WWE champion, to no surprise, not to me, is Daniel Bryan. And it'll be interesting to see who Bryan challenges or faces at WrestleMania. I still think it's going to be John Cena. So we'll see. A lot of interesting questions, like I said, coming out of SmackDown. What is this alliance between Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan? Like I said, I feel bad for Bryan and Styles. I thought they had a good match, but it did suffer from the crowd. A match that I thought, and let's pull up the match time here. I thought this match between Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor was executed to perfection. As a big fan of Finn Balor and the Balor Club, I thought this was the best way you could believably get me to, think that Finn would have a chance against Brock Lesnar. And the match went 8 minutes and 40 seconds. That's about what I thought it was going to be. And for a Brock Lesnar match, that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good stuff here. I like the fact that early on, Balor was able to get some offense in. And the fact that he sent Lesnar to the outside and Lesnar was injured by impaling his stomach into the corner of the announcer's table was very smart. That gave Balor an advantage because against, a 100% Brock Lesnar, Finn's not going to have much of a shot. Sorry. But with that disadvantage that Finn could take advantage of with the coup de grace, driving it right into Lesnar, you could see the pain. And I thought Brock was really strong here in his selling. And, the crowd, and I believed that, well, maybe Finn might have a shot here. And, when Balor hit the DDT and hits the 3 topes and the coup de grace, I was like, oh, he might do it. He might do it. And the crowd, they were into it as well. And boom, Lesnar pops up, puts Balor in the Kimura. But unfortunately, Finn taps out. So despite losing, as I thought he would, I thought Finn Balor had a pretty damn good showing here. He really did. Like you said, with that selling, I'm learning with stunt choreography. Selling is so important. The audience has to believe. And I felt like last night, and I'm getting to Double J, don't you worry. That was a good line. What's going on, Robbie? I thought the stars of last night, Becky Lynch, Asuka, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Ronda Rousey, Finn Balor. I thought those were the stars that shined the brightest here on the Royal Rumble. So, despite losing, I thought it was one of Lesnar's better matches in recent memory. Despite only going 8 minutes, 40 seconds, at this point in the show, I was just like, that was the length this match needed to be. And of course, after the match, Lesnar takes Balor to a place that I've been to, Suplex City, F5s him for good measure. So, and he's still wincing. You could see Brock, and it was smart. Even though he won, he still sold his injury afterwards. So I thought that was great. And now it's time for the 30-man Royal Rumble match where the winner will get a championship match of their choosing at WrestleMania 35. So we have Elias at number 1. Tries to sing a song, but who's number 2? J-E-F-F-J-A-R-R-E-T-T with the strut and the gut. Shout out to my friend Matt Kane for that one. He came up with that one on the fly, folks. So it was Elias and Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett was eliminated. Entrant number 3, Shinsuke Nakamura. He's number 3. Kurt Angle, nice surprise here at number 4. Eliminated by Nakamura. Entrant number 5, Big E. Entrant number 6, Cleveland's own Johnny Wrestling. Johnny Gargano. Great surprise there. And to see Jinder Mahal, entrant number 7, eliminated. That was great to see as well by Gargano. Entrant number 8, Samoa Joe, who eliminates Big E. Entrant number 9, Kurt Hawkins. Hawkins, I don't know where that came from, who hides under the ring, which was very, very smart strategy by Kurt. Seth freaking Rollins, entrant number 10. Entrant number 11, Titus O'Neil. I like the fact that he played off his trip and fall at the greatest Royal Rumble. He sees Kurt Hawkins. He chases him underneath the ring. And Hawkins is able to eliminate Titus O'Neil before being eliminated by Samoa Joe. Entrant number 12, Kofi Kingston. Entrant number 13, Mustafa Ali, who I thought had a nice showing here. I like seeing his little back and forth sequence here with Johnny Gargano. That would be one hell of a match to see, wouldn't it? Hey, Ali, Joe is going to kill you. Yes, he will. Entrant number 14, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. They begin to battle each other here. Ambrose eliminates Johnny Wrestling. Entrant number 15, No Way Jose, who is immediately eliminated by Joe. Entrant number 16, Drew McIntyre. Entrant number 17, Xavier Woods. Him and Kofi Kingston, of course. Woods catches Kofi Kingston, who fell to the outside, and he's able to carry Kofi on his back and carries him to the steps until Drew McIntyre is able to clothesline both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods over the top rope. Pete Dunne, nice surprise here, UK champion, entrant number 18. Moving on here, 19, Andrade Cien Almas, who eliminates Dean Ambrose. Entrant number 20, Apollo Crews. Nice surprise here. Entrant number 21. Yeah, Drew McIntyre almost did kill everybody in that Congo line. Entrant 21, Aleister Black, one of my favorites on NXT. That was a nice surprise. And he also eliminated Dean Ambrose with the Black Mass. Shelton Benjamin, entrant number 22. And Ali pushes Joe over the ropes, continuing their animosity and issues. So Samoa Joe is eliminated. Entrant number 23, Baron Corbin. Apollo Crews is eliminated by Baron Corbin. Entrant number 24, Brother Nero, yes. Jeff Hardy, yes, it is wonderful. And McIntyre throws Pete Dunne over the top rope. And Baron Corbin. Excuse me, here we got a phone call going on. I got to silence my phone here. Baron Corbin tosses Aleister Black over the top rope. So Pete Dunne and Aleister Black were eliminated. Rey Mysterio got a nice pop here at entrant number 25. And entrant number 26, Bobby Lashley, who was immediately eliminated by Seth Rollins. So Lashley goes to the outside and takes Seth Rollins and chokeslams him through the announcer's table. Kind of reminded me of when Kane took CM Punk 5 years ago in the Royal Rumble to the outside. So a nice little callback there. So moving on here, we have entrant number 27, who was Braun Strowman, who eliminated both Baron Corbin and Shelton Benjamin and Jeff Hardy. Entrant number 28, Dolph Ziggler, eliminates Drew McIntyre. Entrant number 29, Randy Orton. So Strowman, during all of this, hits Power Slam, and he tries an avalanche into the corner, but ends up beating the turnbuckle, and he falls to the outside. So he's off to outside. Entrant number 30 was supposed to be R-Truth, but Nia Jax attacks him and apparently takes his spot and enters the ring. I don't know how you guys felt about this. So Becky had to get clearance from Finlay in storyline to enter the match, but Nia Jax can just beat down R-Truth and immediately enter the match like that. How does that make any sense? It really doesn't. Now, I actually liked what they did with Nia here, all things considered. I mean, I was surprised they even had her eat. That RKO from Orton was freaking awesome. And just the look on his face. I mean, that's something Randy Orton would do. She gets super kicked by Ziggler. She eats the 619. And Mysterio drop kicks Jax off the apron. And for the 4th time in Rumble history, a woman was eliminated in the men's Royal Rumble match. We had Chyna, Karma, Beth Phoenix, and now Nia Jax. Rey Mysterio was eliminated by Randy Orton after hitting the RKO. Strowman runs over Andrade and Ziggler. Rollins gets back to his feet, and Strowman runs Rollins over the outside of the ring. Strowman sends Rollins into the ring. Ziggler superkicks Strowman. Andrade hits the double corner knees on Strowman, but Rollins is able to crush Strowman with a frog splash. Strowman throws out Ziggler and Andrade, and it comes down to Strowman and Rollins. Rollins tries to superkick Strowman off the apron. Strowman answers with a choke slam. Strowman picks up Rollins. Rollins curb stomps Strowman on the apron, and Strowman slips off the apron. Your winner and new #1 contender, Seth Rollins. I thought it was a decent men's Royal Rumble match, but I got to give it to the women. I thought they had the better Royal Rumble match compared to the guys. So really, outside of the title, the WWE title match, which I thought was just okay. And, I enjoyed pretty much everything on this show, despite the length, but this show is way, way, way too long. I am going to give this show a B+. I thought this was a really solid pay-per-view. That probably could have been an hour shorter, but be that as it may, kudos to WWE for starting the road to WrestleMania on the right foot. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens on Raw and SmackDown this week. And always remember, less is more. Less is certainly more. So, guys, that does it for my Royal Rumble review. I want to say thank you for being patient, for giving me the opportunity to come up here and join you for another live review. I always enjoy doing these as we are on the road to WrestleMania. Look forward to more video content coming to my channel here at youtube.com/DanielGuys412. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at DanielGuys1994. Be sure to check out my Twitter at DanielGuys412. Also, be sure to check out my brothers at the Kane Action Team, the preeminent stunt team in Akron, Ohio. That is Kane Action Team. So once again, guys, thank you all for watching. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button to help this channel continue to grow. And click the like button down below if you like this video. And hashtag less is more. And enjoy Raw tonight, guys. Enjoy SmackDown tomorrow. Of course, remember, we're less than 68 days until WrestleMania! Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.